Where the fuck is McClay?
Take 2.
Oh, God, old man.
Getting old, okay.
The Bogcast, episode 39, the Adam Berardi take 2.
Action.
Awesome. This is the Bogcast, episode 39, take 2. We are now brought... What the fuck are you smiling at? We are now brought to you by Bang Salon. Come get all your hair needs, including cuts, natural colors, vivid colors, extensions, shampoo and styling, all under one roof at Bang Salon. Find and message Bang Salon on Instagram at Bang Salon, at BANGDSALON. Use promo code
Bogcast
for 20% off your first visit. So come on down and get banged by Jordan. But if you really try to bang her, I'll fucking kill you. Cool.
Also, please check us out on Spotify, Google Play, the podcast apps, all that fun stuff. And if you can, please like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Awesome. Cool. So we have a really great guest in the house today. This is the second time that I've had to say all this shit because we had some technical difficulties there. We're still learning. But what's up again, man? How you doing?
Hey, doing well. Very spontaneous. Glad to be here.
Hell yeah, man. So yeah, we were talking. I only thought like our two old high school buddies listened to the show. So you actually listened?
Yeah, started episode 10. Somebody turned me on to it. I don't know who. I get a lot of those Facebook instant messages from strangers and just people I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's probably me.
Well, maybe. Hey, he had like a mask on and a wig, some makeup. It's like, you should really watch the podcast. My name is Susie. So I started watching it. It was good. I liked it. I mean, it's gotten progressively even better
Sweet.
since
Hell yeah.
we started.
Thank you,
I think the first couple of guests were kind of like this and started talking away from the microphone really quick.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so it's a little bit of that going on, but it was really fun. It's enjoyable. I like it.
Appreciate that, man.
I've seen Jessica Martin's interview. William Kenny is a great guy, and he said, "I'm going to be on the podcast." And that's sorry, William, that's not your voice. That's just what it sounds like to me. I'm a horrible impressionist. And we were actually having coffee. We both live in Fountain Hills, and he's like, "Let's do coffee on Sunday." I'm sorry, that's like I do. And so I did coffee with him, and he said, "I'm going to be on the podcast." And I said, "What's that?" And he goes, "Oh, let me tell you." And he said, we talked about it, and I said, "That sounds really cool." And I got to watch it.
Nice.
And I liked it, but that was way no, you know what? I watched it a lot before William Kenny, so, but yeah.
That's badass, man.
I looked surprised though, so that was what was important to me. Was I looked surprised to him that it was something new and exciting.
Yeah. He was a great guest, and can't wait to have him back.
We just went out your way in Fountain Hills, but I don't know if that's still considered Fountain Hills where we went for the haunting. Out in Scottsdale.
Oh yeah.
What road?
It was like 136th Street and way north.
Oh,
Joe Max.
Those are peasants out there. They're not Fountillians. Peasants. Oh.
It was beautiful though, man.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I can't believe how gorgeous it is. Like I've been in the desert a long time, and normally I think the desert is fucking ugly, but out there it's beautiful. There's certain parts of it out there that's just amazing.
Hey, thanks. We try to keep it nice.
Yeah, I bet you do.
No, I like it out there. It's nice. It's quiet. I mean, I like the city better. I like your spot is amazing. This is where all the hot young kids stay in this area now.
For sure.
They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job.
Like it finally feels. I was talking about this on a previous podcast that like a downtown. Before it was because I used to play in bands down here like 10 years ago, and it was ghetto as fuck everywhere around here. But now I think with ASU being downtown now, and just all these new apartment complexes, the art district on Roosevelt Row, there's just like this cool vibe down here finally now. Like it's cool to come down to downtown Phoenix or Midtown Phoenix now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was down here 3 weeks ago, and there was I'm like, oh, this is usually where you get stabbed. You know, I come down for a gig.
For sure.
You want to do a gig and get paid, but you don't want to get shot. But you know, you come down here anyway because I'm an actor and I I'm going to get shot if I have to. And this guy with a really, really fancy beard and handlebar mustache, and he's on one of those Segways with the no handlebars. And I'm like, look at this young fella here. And I saw these little young kids running around with all the young giblets and, and just all jiggly still and firm. And I was like, this is weird. This is bizarre. Where are all the crackheads?
Yeah.
Well,
right?
no, they're still
They'll
there.
stare,
Dude.
yeah.
Are they?
For sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's actually sad.
They're hanging out by the freeway exits.
It's just it's the mixture of crackheads and there's the mental illness with the homeless around here, and it's just I know it's kind of sad actually.
Yeah. That kills my joke. I'm sorry.
No, it makes it funnier.
Yeah.
It is. Can I ask a question though?
Sure.
I want to be PC. Are there still crackheads, or is crack like not a thing anymore? Are we still attacking crack, or is it like?
I just called meth heads crackheads.
Okay.
To me, it's the same thing.
Fucking
even worse.
Yeah, crack's a great drug.
Yeah, I was gonna start it as a weight loss.
Have you ever done crack?
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
No, I was gonna start like a really hard regimen of narcotics to see if I could drop.
I'm not joking,
LBs.
and I'm not fucking around, and I know why crack's amazing because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked crack?
Yeah.
It's great. Like, it's amazing. Like, I understand why. I'm not joking. I'm not going to go smoke crack. I'm not saying smoke crack. It's not good for you. It's going to fuck up your life. But if you do it one time, it is fucking awesome.
So you've done it one time?
I've done it like 3 or 4 times.
Nancy Reagan told me you smoke crack once. That's it.
She's a fucking liar.
All your teeth fall out.
I've done almost every drug about 3 or 4 times, and only a couple I got hooked on.
I got a funny story about a proponent of meth. We got a buddy who said, hold on. We got a buddy who said, and this is amazing. He said, the easiest way to get off heroin
is meth.
Is to go slam a bunch of meth. And you're up for 3 days. You don't go through the withdrawals. And I'm like, yeah, but you're going to be dead. I mean,
that's playing with fucking fire.
Yeah,
man.
fuck,
the uppers
dude.
and the downers like that.
Fuck.
I can't believe those are what the kids are doing these days.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry I started talking about crack. But
no, it's okay. I mean, I pounded a Red Bull before I got here. That's about all I can't do much anymore.
I think crack's healthier than
the Red Bull.
Yeah.
Probably.
Craziness in that.
I'm not saying ever do crack or anything else.
I am just one time. Just do crack once.
Don't you do any crack units? However they do the crack.
I'm endorsing doing crack one time.
I'm not endorsing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I won't put my stamp of approval behind that one.
All right.
I say do it twice.
And this within 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I didn't exhale.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you got into acting at 15.
Oh yeah, so I got into acting at 15. Actually, in Orlando, the crack capital of the world.
Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Downtown Orlando is where I went to high school and grew up.
You know the only thing I know about? I know 2 things about Orlando.
Hardtown, O-Town.
I know Shaquille O'Neal and Eddie Wong.
Boom.
And Florida also is the king of, or used to be, of the opiate crisis too, as far as people getting
the panhandle,
right? Yeah, exactly, the panhandlers. Yeah.
Well, the farther north you go is the farther south you go in Florida. So that's pretty much deliverance up there. No offense to anybody in Tallahassee.
Yeah, that shit's
crazy.
You
guys are fantastic.
Yeah, you're right.
But
I see what you're saying.
You know where you're living.
It's a different.
Place.
It's a totally different world. It's like walking on Mars. Like,
sure,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I grew up in Orlando, so that's where I was, and yeah. People think Mickey Mouse and Disney World, but it's more like South Central LA. It was back in the 90s. It was rough. I had crackheads, so we had a shed in the back of our house. We lived really close to the project. We lived in a town called Beirut, Paramore, bitch. Ooh. Anyway, so I'm ghetto. My friends who watch this from that area are gonna call up and vouch for me at a later date on their stolen cell phones. So watch out for that. Anyway, so I got a knock on my door, and it was a crackhead. You know, you can tell what a crackhead looks like because they look like a crackhead. And he asked me if I wanted him to paint my numbers on my sidewalk. Oh, yeah. And in his hand was a bucket of paint and a paintbrush that came out of the shed from the back of our house. True story.
That's a good idea.
That's ballsy, man. I would have been like, you know what? Just because you did that, you can go paint my fucking my street numbers, man.
Yep. Oh, he wanted to charge me for it in the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
like $5. Yeah,
for the paint too.
Yeah, for the paint. Yeah.
Industrious though.
Yeah,
they do a lot of stuff.
Motherfucker, man. Yeah. That's what crack will make you do.
Yeah, but I started at 15 in Orlando, and I started in high school. I was adopted at a young age, and my foster father, or my father, Carl Berardi, good job. he said, hey, you know, you're not a really good looking kid, but you're pretty average looking. You should probably get into some sort of, that's what he says, into modeling or something. You know, nothing fancy. Maybe like a Sears catalog or something. That's how old I am. Sears catalogs. And I said, okay, maybe it sounds kind of sneaky, you know. And he's like, no, you should really try it. I think it'd be good for you. You know, people are going to look more ethnic as they get older. I'm not Italian, obviously. He was. And he says, and people are going to want to see more ethnic people in these things. And I thought it was garbage because everybody was white and everything. Every television show was white. Every magazine was white. I thought I needed to be whiter, grow my hair, whatever I could possibly do. And so I said, okay, I'll try. And I went to a few modeling gigs, and they wanted lots of money. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore, but I'll go into drama in high school. There was a lady named Kathleen Kilner. She was fantastic. She did a whole bunch of stuff. And then our music teacher down there was like, she used to teach the Backstreet Boys. And so, you know, so I started with that, and it was great. I did a professional play. It was Little Shop of Horrors, and I got to play the voice for Audrey too, and sing in the back. And a 15-year-old boy had like a very bassy voice. And there's a person who heard it, and he says, hey, we're doing a professional play in Titusville. Would you like to come try out? So I went to go try out with all these people, Bryson-looking motherfuckers, and just all sorts of shit. And I got the part. And then Disney found me, and then I did a lot of stuff for Disney in Orlando, like the Candlelight Processional, and I got to sing with Robert Guillaume and Felicia Richard, and it started from there. And then I was on a TV show called Superboy, and then I did way back in the day still. And then I was on Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes.
Damn.
He went to a high school real close to us, Jones High School. What's up, Wesley?
Yeah, I don't think
We've run into each other a few times, actually.
So was this
Wesley
like extra work, or do you have lines, or like?
He was real cool. So I was chilling out at Jones with a bunch of friends of mine, and he came by. That was when he got his. Well, he's not going to watch this. His DUI, his motorcycle DUI, that night. And he came by, and he was chilling out, and he's like, you know, you need to call this place. And so I called, and I'm like, yeah, Wesley told me to call, and they said, come on down, and they gave me an extra spot in Passenger 57.
Holy shit.
And then it kept spiraling from there.
Yeah.
Then I don't know, that's pretty much my life story. I took like 10 years off for a while to raise a kid. He's great. Hey, Tristan, what's up? Tristan Koklanis.
That's pretty
he's
cool.
my stepson. Yeah, and he's awesome.
So Orlando, because has a kind of a filming world there with those ties to Disney and the Mickey Mouse Club and just kinds of stuff like that, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah. They do a lot of filming down there still. A lot of it moved to Georgia, but it
Not anymore.
No, they're left now, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did right
They
away.
need to come here.
See you in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yep, that's closer. That'd be cool.
NBC is building a place over there. Did you see that?
In New Mexico? Or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Very excited about that.
That is pretty cool. That's close.
Hopefully, I mean, one day the opportunities will open up here in Arizona, right?
Hopefully. If not, I'll go to New Mexico. It's fine.
Yeah.
I try
New
it.
Mexico's not that bad.
I write my congressman.
That's what I like and respect about you a lot is a lot of actors here in Phoenix just talk about going to LA and doing all these things, and you actually do it, and I like that. Like you actually travel to LA to Vegas and Kingman. I've seen you had gigs. I'm sure you've had gigs in New Mexico too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sunny Kingman. We have the same agent, and she represents us in New Mexico. You have Danny still, right?
No. I'm with
I'm so sorry about that.
No, I don't care. Deborah Maddox.
Oh, Deborah. I know
Yeah.
Deborah.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
She does stuff in New Mexico as well.
Yeah.
I can't have her though because I'm union and she's.
I was going to ask you
non-union.
about that. You're SAG?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Thanks.
That's badass.
I started when I was like again 15, but it was AFTRA back then, and I think the dues were like $300. It was like really cheap. This was way back when they
So
still
they
had,
were never the Film Actors Guild?
back then. AFTRA was no, they were never the Film Actors Guild. I've seen
You weren't a fag?
that episode. No, but they were AFTRA because it was television, so mostly
And
television.
then they combined, right?
They did combine, and then the dues went way up to the roof. But
So you got it through AFTRA, and then when they combined, you were kind of SAG at the same time, or?
when I was AFTRA, I had a stage name, and I want to say it was Hector Falcone.
That's badass, dude.
Because that's what they wanted from me.
That's badass.
And so I was Hector Falcone, and I did a lot of stuff where I was like some poor Puerto Rican kid, or what it was, whatever else. And that's kind of how it started. And so I was Hector, and then when I was a must join for SAG because I had just been dicking around for a long time doing stuff I wasn't supposed to do and getting jobs in LA, and then I call them saying, no, I'm a must join, but can I just have like one more chance? Or, like, here's 30 more days. And then I got a nasty letter in the mail, and then I had to give it to my agent. She's like, oh, there's no union work out here for you, Adam. You know, just none. You're not going to make any money. And I'm like, well, I don't have a choice because I've dicked around too much. So now I have to do this. So I gave him my money again, and then here I am again. So
can you get non-union work here in Arizona?
I cannot.
Anywhere?
Nope, I can't. I'm national. So in order to do that, you'd have to go FICOR, which is called Financial Corps. You're not a member of SAG-AFTRA anymore. You can't put SAG-AFTRA on any of your things. You don't get a card. You don't get to vote. You don't get any of the benefits of being a SAG-AFTRA member, including the pension plan, any of that great stuff.
Can you explain the benefits of SAG?
Yeah.
Of being SAG?
Absolutely.
That's crazy. This is, I'm glad I really, after,
should bust my
Becky,
card
I
out.
think.
Yeah, because we had Becky on recently, and she got her first voucher. You know what I mean? It was it was a good step towards that.
Sure. Or Taft-Hartley. She got her Taft-Hartley. Was she like an extra in something?
No, she had a speaking part in a SAG film in Tucson.
Okay.
And,
that was Spiked.
yeah,
Yes.
weren't you in that too?
Martin Berry, yeah.
Yeah, so she got her voucher for that. So we were talking about that, but we were still kind of both.
she was and you guys were like new on.
Yeah, like, you have to decide it, like, as an actor, when you want to make that jump, even if you are eligible, obviously, because, do you still want that non-union work or not? So,
It is. Let me see this. I didn't even know she was on that. Let's see. Sorry, Becky. You're very important to me as a person, and I did not know you were on that. So I'm going to go to my IMDb Pro site just to see what you played real quick while we talk. So let's pretend like I'm not on my phone like an asshole, right?
no, he's sending me dick pics right now, don't lie.
Just a bunch of DPs. Don't worry about it. I used a fisheye lens, so they look cute.
Nice. But, so what are the benefits of SAG?
So SAG, while I look for this. So there's a lot of great benefits. One is you get continuing education through the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. So instead of you paying, which we have some great classes here in the Valley. So I would suggest going to like the Howies. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
Their son is on Clueless. Shameless. Clueless. Shameless. And he's fantastic. He just did that Uber movie. He's really funny, really nice. He's come out a few times to see them.
Yeah.
They're fantastic people, and they've been doing it for a very long time. And you got good faith casting. They have workshops all the time. Great. Absolutely. But if you're a SAG-AFTRA member, you also get continuing education through the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. So you can, if you're not in LA, you can do it online, and they have all sorts of great, almost like master classes with real big actors, lots of direction, things you wouldn't normally think you need to know to be on camera, things that you can definitely tell that separate an amateur production from a professional one.
And these are online?
They have them online, or you can go to LA and actually sit down in these classes, and they'll let you sit down in these classes. It costs you nothing.
Wow.
It's really important. There's also
that's what separates the big guys from the little guys, right?
There's all those little minute things, those little tricks and shit.
There's a lot of them. For instance, okay, so we're talking right now, and just give me a line. Tell me to say something.
Fuck.
Dirty as you want. I don't really care.
Who queefed?
Who queefed? Okay, so there's a couple different ways you could say who queefed, and with who queefed, and what's important is what I'd say is, hey Keith, who queefed, right? But let's say that, but let's say I was drinking or eating something, okay, and this is really an important part of it. Eyeline's important, all that stuff, but I got to pick up this bottle of water and say, hey Keith, who queefed, as I take a sip out of it, right? So if I go like this and I go, hey Keith, who queefed? I've got to do that 10 more times the exact same way. If I'm walking and doing that, then I have to hit that mark every time I say that.
Oh, shit.
Because they don't always have 3 cameras on you, right? So you got to make sure you hit that mark.
Yeah.
It's for the editing. And if you want to get that good spot because your camera is your friend and you want them to see your beautiful face and your gorgeous eyes, if you want to be included in that production and be a star, that's what you have to do. There's things like that you have to do.
You have to know your marks. You have to play to the camera right.
Absolutely. If someone's sitting to the left of the camera here and we're talking, when you're focusing on someone's eyes and the camera's right in your eyes, what we normally do is our eyes shift to continuously always adjust and focus. So on camera, it just looks like you're looking like this.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. So you have to either unfocus your eyes and look past that person, or you have to know where your eye line and focal point are. And it's things like that they'll teach you if you don't know already. Mm-hmm. And when I was younger and doing film, they would throw things at you and scream. As a child, people would throw things scream. Yeah, $25,000 a day to run a production like that was not unheard of in the 90s.
Yeah, that's the whole Christian Bale on the set of Terminator.
Oh, I heard he freaked out on that.
I'm on his side.
So
Fuck
am
that
I.
lighting guy.
So am I. Yeah.
That's right,
the
Christian.
Same reason.
And if you ever have a production you'd like to see me in,
I totally agree with
I
his
agree
rant.
with you.
Yeah.
I have felt that way a few times, and you'll talk to people like we did. A great production company here is Overnight Pictures. I love them. Clay Moffat is a wonderful person, very genuine.
Is that Pocket Man and Cargo Boy?
Pocket Man and Cargo Dude? That's right. Pocket Dude and Cargo Guy. No, Pocket Man and Cargo Boy. And that's a fun little movie that we did. And the next one we did, huge budget. We did a lot of different stuff, a lot of different people, great equipment. But on there, he's like, can you do me a favor and can you just get on all of these actors, because we had them on the first one and we want them to be on point. So the entire time I was just Adam the asshole.
Yeah.
And walking around and like saying, are you talking right now? Can you shut up? Do you know your lines yet? Because we're paying you to know your lines. And so if you ask people, they're probably like, yeah, he was a douche on that. Like, he was such a douche. But, I helped him. I was trying to help.
I say this a lot, and people are going to hate it, but I have to say it again. There's the difference between being an adult about things and just being a douchebag, right? When you're being paid to do something, you act professional.
Sure.
There's a reason, and that's going to get you called back. That's going to get you. People are going to be like, all right, that's somebody I want to work with. And I just don't understand why people get their feelings hurt. I mean, yeah, there's ways not to be a total dick, but at some point you just got to say, hey, this is just about being professional. It's not about anything else. It's about, we're paying it. This is costing us money. We want to do it right, and we want to work with you again if you do the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's, and especially in the Valley. I think you'll get work in LA. They might not work with you again. They have a lot of things to do. Nobody wants to see your face twice unless you're a product. Unless you're Tom Hardy, nobody wants to see you twice, right? Yeah. But that's the business. I'm never going to be a Tom Hardy. I'm not going to be that guy. I just like to create and work. So I like to do that, and it's important that we all get to do that. It shouldn't be one person shining. It should be everybody should shine equally. Yeah. So sometimes you got to be nasty, and you got to have a thick skin. I've been told I'm fat. I've been told I'm stupid. Speak up. You slur your words, and that's happened here. And I don't cry about it. I just stop slurring my words and enunciate. Yeah. And just understand that this guy spent a lot of money just now. I want to make him happy, and that's all there is to it. Becky played Sally, by the way, and I had to look it up. She played Sally in Spiked. Great movie. I like the story a lot. Juan Martinez Vera was an award-winning director, did that thing on HBO. He was an amazing person to work with. And, we were really actually very lucky to have these people shoot in our beautiful state.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a great point.
With no incentives, by the way. And that was a SAG modified low budget or a SAG low budget, so it had to be at least 2.5 mil.
So why did they shoot it in Tucson? They needed that location in particular, or like what was the reason?
I don't know exactly what I'm allowed to say because I had to sign a confidentiality agreement.
For sure,
However, I can tell you it's a true story, and it was based here. So
based in Phoenix or Tucson?
I think it was based actually a little bit further north, but it has to do with the immigration crisis and a lot of abuse going on at that time. So my stomach rumbling, that was horrible. So that's kind of what it was about. I got to play a guy named Pedro, and I got to work with Aiden Quinn. Wow, what a great guy, by the way, from Elementary. He's really nice, super gracious, shared the screen the entire time with me. Just a wonderful, wonderful human. Larry Coulter was there. He works out of Tucson. And Larry Coulter was there too. We were stoked to work together and to be with such great actors and great presence in the Valley, which is very rare. Yeah, get that. So
yeah, that's cool. How many days did you get to work on it?
Adam likes to work one day.
Oh, nice.
I don't like to.
Hey, it's better.
I like to shoot. I'm not pushy with anything, but Juan actually talked to me and he said, hey, so we're doing some stuff in Bisbee, and we know that you're. Here's the other catch. So if you're a SAG actor or a non-union actor, the pay is different. Okay, so they like to ask questions and like, what would you like? Well, I'd prefer one day, please. And if I can come in and shoot in the morning, that'd be fantastic. I don't like the heat. I'd like to get in my trailer, get the hell out by 12 would be great, and get home. And he was like, no problem. We got the perfect role for you. He was awesome. I read for Pedro. Bella Hibbs from Good Faith Casting sent me down to Tucson to do it one more time. And they were awesome about the whole thing. And so I was in and out. Some people have to stay down there for a day or two, wait 6 hours, and I will. But if they ask me, I'm going to tell them the truth. Like, I would like to get out early if that'd be okay. Yeah. If you have a role that fits that for me, that'd be awesome. So,
do you still get nervous for these big projects that you get, or you've been in it for so long that it's just another job to you?
It really depends.
So,
So,
well, for Spike then, for example.
no, was not nervous. They were very kind. They were way too accommodating for me personally. Like they were like, "Hey, here's your trailer, and you do all this stuff." I'm sure we've all seen all the trailer pics on Facebook. By the way, we don't have to show anymore. But yeah, so most productions that we're on should have a trailer for us and should have a makeup room and a couple MUAs and someone doing your hair, and that's kind of the way a good production works. So. But they were way too accommodating. Like, what kind of food do you need? Can I get you anything? Someone kept knocking on my trailer door, like, Mr. Berardi, can I get you anything else? Would you like some food right now? I could bring it to your trailer. I'm like, I can just walk and get it. I'm fine. I'll get my own water. It's like, is it cool enough? And someone was asking me if it was cool enough in the trailer like, every 25 minutes because they hadn't turned them on when I got there. I'm like, it's fine. It's beautiful out. I was wearing a hoodie and a pair of sweats, waiting to get going. And I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna be sweating in a jail cell in the next hour. So don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Let me get into character. But they were really nice, and yeah, it was fantastic down there. And I'm so happy Becky got to work on it. Becky, I'm so sorry I did not know you worked on it, and I'm very happy that you did. You're a great talent. I've worked with her in a lot of different local production houses. Epic Productions does a lot of commercials here, and she did one for. Was it Sightlock?
That was awesome. Sightlock,
hilarious.
Yeah, she's great in that.
I was just a fool running around and explosions.
Oh yeah, you were in that too. Yeah.
It was weird.
She seems really talented. You could tell that she's got something there.
Sure. Everybody's really talented. You said Jay Lopez was on here. He's a fantastic talent that's just unutilized.
Well, he was mentioning that how you got him in Mr. Deshi.
Mr. Deshi.
So he was talking about you on the last episode actually. Nice. So
Imperfection Studios did that. That's Tommy Perez, and they did that in Kingman in Las Vegas. And I also got to play. I wasn't a Pedro. I was Jose. I was another Mexican migrant kind of transporter, and I had a starring role. I really liked it. Devaney Penn was in that. She was in Party Bus to Hell, and with Tara Reid and Richard Grieco and all those guys. And Richard Grieco wasn't in that. He was in the next movie. Those are the Mahal brothers, and they're in Vegas, but they do a lot of stuff. And Devaney Penn was in that. She's like a scream queen. I think her IMDb rating or some bullshit. It's like really high, but they are all super nice. We did Mr. Deshi, and they said, "Hey, Adam, Danny Trejo was supposed to do this, but at the last minute they switched him up or something, and now he's not open for like a year because he has a manager, and he kind of manager tells him what would be better for him to do, and obviously that would be better to do next year if he could do it. And he's like, do you have anybody that fits this this profile? And I said, no, but I have someone he's a really handsome cat, and he's not Mexican, he's Puerto Rican, but I think he could play a Mexican. Let's see what you think. And they're like, we don't have time. We want you to pick somebody without the audition. Dude. And I'm like, well, then I'm just going to pick him. So I called him, we sent him the stuff, and he got to go up there. So I hope Jay, I hope you enjoyed it. I didn't get a chance to work with you at all. So
he talked about it and said he had a great time, and
nice.
Was happy to be part of the project. And
he said it was at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah, the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah, went there. Yeah.
Did you go?
The distribution company thinks Adler. But yeah, no, I didn't get a chance to go. I was working. That's the problem with events and things. Like we have an event on Wednesday. I got a job. I gotta go work.
So how does that work? Do they call you, or do you still go try to get jobs? I mean, is SAG part of that, or is that still just your manager that does that?
Well, there's two different ways. So another benefit of SAG is iActor. I can't believe I'm just talking for SAG right now. Anyway, it's iActor, and you get put on this database. So like, let's say I just got one last week for Yellowstone, the Kevin Costner TV.
Yeah, it's a great show.
And they're like, hey, would you like to submit for this? We're auditioning in Salt Lake City, but you can submit, and then if we like you, you can do an audition. And I have a few. Can you hear that? That's crazy. I don't know what's going on with my stomach.
That was coming out from here.
Oh, it was a motorcycle.
Yeah.
The thing was my stomach. I don't know why. So they called me up and they said, you want to do this? And I said, sure. So they sent me the information on the sides, and then I took my DJI camera and I held it, and I just did it at my house. It took me like 3 minutes. I sent it in. They're like, hey, man, we want you for a soft hold. And of course, it didn't work out for me in the end. They wanted a cattle rustler, and I just don't look like a cattle rustler. I mean, if you look at me, I just don't look like a cowboy. But I went far, and they do things like that frequently for people. And then Danny Green is my agent. I mentioned her. She here in the Valley. She works here in New Mexico. Her husband Bill does national. He submits you nationally everywhere. You got people going to Chicago, people going to New York for them. I got an agent in Las Vegas, and I used to have an agent in LA, but it wasn't working out for me. So I stepped back, and honestly, I mean, you go to Paramount, there's 900 guys that look just like you.
Oh, for sure.
So they send you on these things, and that's kind of can be kind of difficult. So I'd rather just do video auditions for New Mexico, and when I need one for LA, do that.
Yeah, video auditions.
No, a lot of video auditions.
Yeah.
So,
So
That's nice. That's got to be really nice to be able to do that.
It can be. It really can be. It depends. I mean, I have so my son and my daughter-in-law have moved in. I'm gonna be a grandfather in about a week, and so we moved everybody into the house because we really wanted to be next to our grandchildren. My
Yeah.
granddaughter, Aria Rose, can't wait to see you. So now video auditioning in the house might be a bit of a challenge, or audio booking in the house, or anything like that, or any voiceovers you have to do because there might be a baby crying or sleeping. So I'll probably have to go back to the. She works all the way in Tempe, my agent. So I'd have to drive from Fountain Hills to Tempe and do the auditions there. But it's still better than driving to LA. So who's going to complain about that? You know?
Yeah. Do you like video auditions more than going live auditions, or?
I need them to see me. I book a lot more. This is some good advice for anybody who wants to do auditions. Video auditions are great because the casting director can see the best side of you, but they're only usually used for preliminary screening because they're only seeing the best side of you. They can't see any of the subtle nuances of any other part of your actual personal character, and they also can't give you direction, which is really important on the fly. And those are things that casting directors and directors and producers, they all really want to see. So usually when I go in, I always misread the character horribly. I'm a really bad actor. And so I'll go and I'll do a video audition. Like, that's not what we wanted at all. I never get it. But rarely get it. But when I go in, they'll pick, that wasn't what we were looking for. Can you do this? And they'll kind of give me a description of what they want, and then I can nail it. Yeah. And then it's fine. But I need to be held by the hand. I can't arrive at that conclusion by myself. I'm just not that talented. So I think that's I think in person is good, you know.
Yeah, no, that's the type of advice or things that people would really pay to, take.
Yeah. Well, they have a problem, and I've done casting before, and there's a problem presented to the casting director. They need to fill a spot, and it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because they're spending a lot of money on this. So they want to see you. They're your advocate. They really want you. When you guys go and you're doing these auditions and you're nervous and like, that casting director was an asshole. Yeah, there's a few in the Valley that are assholes. Absolutely. And they called you in because they want to yell at you. I don't believe that, but I feel there's a few, and he knows who I'm talking about.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I won't talk about his name because he's a big guy in the Valley, and he's a nice guy outside, but he's a douchebag when he's working.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
There you go. But you go, and they want you to succeed because they make money when you succeed, and they also look better when you succeed. So you go in, they're your advocate, they want you to do that. So if you walk in and understand that you are the solution to their problem, then I think you'll get the part every time. If you are the solution to their problem, you'll get the part. If you walk in and you're nervous and shaky and you can't shake it off and understand that they're your friends, then you're not going to get the part. And that's all there is to it. So show up. The 3 ups in life, right? There's I call it show up,
Jamie.
Yep. Show up, open up, and trade up, right? So you show up to everything. Show up to every audition. You show up and you make yourself available. Hey, can you be here tomorrow? I was doing the American King with Akon in LA like a couple years ago, and then someone said, hey, can you be in Maricopa tomorrow to do an Ace Hardware commercial? What time? It's like midnight. And I had just driven out there and did it, so I had no sleep. They're like, we need you here at 6 a.m. I got in my car and we drove home and we did it. And I was up for another 8 hours, but I showed up because that commercial can get you an extra $40,000 for the year.
Oh, for sure.
So you do that commercial, and you show up, and you open up. And when you open up, you got to open up yourself and be an exposed nerve and just tell people who you really are, like we are here, and just be nice. Don't be a douche, and and take in any information that they have for you, and then trade up is always the biggest one. Get better acting lessons, get better equipment. And if you meet somebody like Keith and you're like, man, that guy's great. He's fantastic at what he does. I need him on my next project. You trade up. You make sure you hire your own mentors if you can, or you try to work underneath them as much as you possibly can.
That's great.
That's
great advice.
So, and that's my boring advice for the day, and I'll shut up and let you guys ask questions now. Sorry.
No, I think this is amazing. I think this is things that a lot of actors need to hear and want to hear, especially new and upcoming actors that are first getting their feet wet. I mean, you've obviously had a lot of experience. You've been doing this since you were 15. So when did you make that jump from non-union to SAG?
A couple of years ago.
Oh, just recently?
Yeah, I didn't want to, so I just kind of played in the waters a little bit. And
Are you worried that you just weren't going to get enough work because of where you lived?
No, it wasn't even that. I'm just lazy and a procrastinator, so I wanted to sit around and play Overwatch.
I'm there with you, brother.
That makes sense why we haven't worked together in the last couple of years, because you did make that jump. Because my first year of acting, I felt like we were on a lot of sets together, and then I just kind of haven't seen you on a set. And I think it's because you've been just killing with that SAG stuff.
Thanks. Well, I've been SAG eligible like a long time. So I could do things here and never get a must join. You know, I could do things in a lot of different places, never get a must join. But after doing 2 or 3 in California and just getting on their radar, getting that letter, I was like, okay, I'll do it. You know, I have to do it now. And there are guys who went FICOR and they're doing, but I feel like it's not a level playing field any longer, because you're getting all the money for being a SAG actor, and now you've gone FICOR, so you're still getting that pay when you can, and you're making yourself available to those productions, and then you're taking all of this stuff for people who are just starting out, and I don't think that's very cool. You know, so when you see me on a non-union production now, it's because it's in a producer facet. I won't get on there and steal a role.
So when you're doing these feature films here in the Valley, they're not SAG, are they?
No, but I'm not doing them. I'm producing them.
Oh.
You won't see me acting in them.
I thought you were acting in them. You're not acting in Pocket Man and Cargo Boy?
Nope.
Oh.
I was in the first one. I
see.
had a stand-in because we really couldn't get another person. And if I'm a producer, then I can go hop on because I'm not paying myself.
That makes sense.
So it's okay to do that. But just a stand-in, you know, and I'm out. I'm not stealing anybody's lines or something somebody else can use. There was a guy that I wish took my part if I knew he even existed, but we didn't get a hold of him in time. His name is another Adam Voiles.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Adam. He's a really great actor, and he doesn't do a whole bunch, but he's fantastic. We could have had a female agent if we could have got Jessica Martin on the line, but I don't think she was interested or something. I don't know, or she's out of town. She's a good actress.
Yeah,
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Good actress. So.
When did you come out to Arizona?
Oh, I originally came out here in 1999 for work, and I met a girl, and boy, she was beautiful. So I told them I'm not going any further. I'm not going back to New England or Connecticut or wherever they wanted me to go. And I want to marry her. And worked out really well.
Yeah, can't beat that.
Yeah, she's great. Heidi, hi, she's great. Love at first sight. When they say you know, you just know. So I didn't believe that, but.
Yeah, that's how it usually works. You
like,
never believe it until it happens, right?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where we're just looking at each other, getting closer. And I married her.
Slow motion.
Yeah, it was real slow motion. It was nice, and she was a fun girl in the classic sense.
It's like when Wayne sees Cassandra for the first time, and he's just
and her name was Cassandra. Yeah, so that's kind of how it worked out, and Arizona's a great place to do this job. Of course, back then and for film, we were doing The Kingdom and all these great things. And then it just kind of fell off, but then I was like, well, there's a lot of stuff around here still, and it was a great place to be, and not a lot of traffic.
Did you do The Kingdom?
No, I didn't.
No.
I missed that. I missed that by a little tiny bit.
I love that movie, dude.
A lot of people in it, but they hired big name actors, and then they had a bunch of people just walking around from Arizona staring at the camera, doing stupid shit in the background. So, and that also bothers me, Hollywood. If you could come out here, give someone a speaking role. Come on.
So if you see that, and do you actually search that out in movies? I ask him all the time because he's an actor. You know, that is it harder for you to watch movies? Now that you said that, I'm gonna be looking for that stuff.
Oh,
I always look at the extras, dude, constantly.
They're hilarious.
And I'm thinking about like what they're saying or what they were told, or especially like on what's that new David Fincher, Mindhunter?
Oh my! I just started watching season 2.
His shit is so perfectly framed, and every like just check out the extras in his show, because it's amazing just how he frames his shots, and I'm just like. Just wondering, I don't know, it's crazy.
It's a good show. I like that one. And what's the other one? The Jessica Biel,
Sinner?
Bill Paxton, The Sinner.
I just watched that with Jordan.
The cinematography is amazing on it. The lines that they drew to what they wanted you to arrive to see is really important. Like you'll see tree lines going toward people's faces. There's like a stop sign motif that keeps occurring in the movie, TV show, and that's what makes good. Cinema
for sure. Those underlying tones when you use colors and have those recurring motives. I know.
I'm a hack. I can't make a movie to save my life, but I really appreciate when someone can. So
well, we had Joseph Umba on here, and his movie I just watched.
He's been in
Congratulations, by the way, Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw you on Netflix,
Yeah.
didn't I?
That's what I was gonna bring up, man.
Yeah.
I
That's
finally watched
crazy.
the whole movie on Netflix, and congratulations to everybody involved and to Joseph. That was pretty damn cool to see that. And to me, watching it was the parts where I'm thinking to myself, man, he came up with that. You know what I mean? Like there's a couple of times where I'm like, wow, he came up with that. You know what I mean? And it just,
well, it's not just that. It's because he does everything. He does
and that's
the cameras, the writing.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like even does he do the editing and special
He
effects?
does everything.
That is what blew me away. That's what I'm saying. Like some of the special, like even in the beginning of the movie, just some of that the intro stuff. I'm thinking to myself, man, that's cool. That
I love all the cut shots because it's like Phoenix. You see the light rail,
they're beautiful. The sky shots were amazing. I couldn't believe how beautiful they were.
He's got a fantastic eye. that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the camera that he used for that,
Is a red.
did he use a red for it?
Yeah.
I thought he used the other one. The
I thought he used a red.
Huh.
I thought we talked about that on the. Maybe I could be wrong.
He's used a red quite a few times in the
but maybe.
past.
You're right.
I thought he used another one, but it doesn't really matter. His eye is fantastic, and he understands the composition of a shot. And his partner in crime, Nick LaRoviere,
sure.
he hey Nick again. They're a powerhouse team. They really are a really true Hollywood couple. No, they are they are beautiful
They're like
together.
this.
They're a very attractive couple together.
One of the things that you said that he also said is,
Yeah.
you know, just showing up and just going and doing the different things is learning how to make a movie even better. If you can learn how to do each role, you were saying how you just go and you be a producer or you go help on the set and this and that. That knowing how everything works is such a big deal. And
Before I even was an extra on anything, I even thought about acting. I ran the slate. I did boom. I did lights and shit. And I only did it because I thought it was fun. And I was just meeting people. And I'd always been obsessed with watching film and the behind the scenes. And to be a part of it, I was like, this is so badass. And then eventually they're like, hey, can you be in the back? You know, they needed extras. And, you know, it evolved into acting and stuff. But you're right. Like getting... Even just for one day working the lights or whatever, you get at least a little bit of understanding of it in the whole grand scheme of things for the production, because there's so much crazy shit that goes in just one shot. Like you'll see a television show and it's a 4-second scene of a character just walking from one door to the other, and I'll be thinking that took 4 hours to light, you know what I mean? Or just all the crazy things that go behind that shit. It's just insane.
Or 20 people to light it, one of the two.
Yeah, or whatever. Just all the factors.
We were on a film together recently that came out, but I had done my work well before that. And someone asked me if I knew a guy who looked like Jesus because you had a long hair.
Oh, is it
That was Philip Penza.
Isn't that coming out soon?
I guess.
So then you got me that gig because I did play Jesus for him.
I don't know if I got you the gig. They just said if I knew someone who looked like Jesus, it could have been anybody because a million people know each other here, so I can't take credit for any of that. But I said, hey, I know a guy, and I showed him your picture, and he goes, oh, he's good. And Philip Penza, by the way, he's doing a lot of great stuff. Yeah. And he's one of those producers that is very fun to be around. But as soon as he starts directing something, he's going to tell you exactly what he didn't like about you, and he hopes you fix it.
That's cool.
And then if you don't fix it, he'll say it one more time, the same tone, just a lot louder. And then and then he won't say anything else, and then you won't work on anything else. So, and he has a lot of connections. He's got me working with Vivica A. Fox.
That's the one I think I was in. I mean, I didn't have a scene with her, but it was literally like an hour shoot that I did as Jesus. But
He's got Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
I've worked with Lorenzo Lamas.
Big Daddy Kane, that's bad as
Noel
fuck.
Guglielmi, from the Fast and Furious, Noel G. I've been slapped in the face by him several times on camera.
Well, what was that show called that he did?
Did Scrutiny. It's not out yet. He did the first
season.
season, which is phenomenal, by the way. I think he wants to do a second, but he better get me quick because I'm getting old and fat. So you better let's film that, okay? I don't have a lot of time left on this earth. But it was really good. And he had like Shauna Craig from E! She played my wife. That was fun. He has a lot of gracious actors. Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts is in a lot of stuff, like 400 plus films. He's a great guy. But we were in Santa Monica, and we went to AFM out in Santa Monica. He wanted to go talk up the TV show and get a buyer for it. And he likes to do things in a very particular. I won't say he's eccentric, but he has his way of doing things. And he wanted us all to go out there and kind of talk up the TV show and whatnot. And so I went to the Hemp Museum with Jesse Murphy, who's an actor in the Valley, great actor, by the way. And there's some other people, Terrell Matheny, he's based out of Tucson, but he's a fantastic musician, artist, singer. I think he's on Spotify, and I definitely on Pandora. I got all the artists in the Valley, including Josh, all tuned into my Pandora and Spotify, because there's great music out of here. But anyway,
that's a great point. We want to talk about that
for sure.
I digress. We will, yes. So we're all out there, and I'm not partaking in any narcotics because I have to be up tomorrow to work more. And these things that he does are 8-hour days of straight work. You know, you're telling people how great you are on a regular basis for 8 hours a day. It gets tedious. I don't mind doing it like here for an hour, telling you how awesome I am, but like for 8 hours, it's a bit too much. And so we're doing this thing, and so Jesse said, hey man, you want to go to this is not Jesse's voice, this is my impression of Jesse. You want to go to the Hemp Museum with us, man? And I was like, I don't want to go to the museum. It's boring sounding. It's late. I want to go to bed. And Daryl Washington, that used to play for the Cardinals, was with us. And he's like, man, it's not a museum. And I was like, it's weed. Yeah, I'll go. So I get in the car, and they're all driving, through Santa Monica to the Hemp Museum, which is a badass place if you have a chance to go on like a Saturday night. It's so cool. There's like stand-up comedians, which you never want to see a stand-up comedian when you're high because they're not funny.
What?
They're terrifying. Like it freaked me the hell out. But I wasn't smoking anything or eating anything. I was just like, I'm gonna hang out and have a good time and maybe have a gummy bear. And Jesse walks up and says, hey, you want some flavor in your Henny and Coke? Because they all drink Henny and Coke. I don't know what's up with Hennessy. If someone could call me and let me know. It is delicious. I just never had it before. And they poured his pomegranate, man. He poured it in, and I was like, this is good. And I could see into the future. I could see what my grandkids were doing. The Oracle was there from the Matrix telling me shit, bending spoons. And I was like, whoa. We get a call. And it's one of his producers, Audrey Beth, a wonderful person, also a very intelligent, wonderful person. And she's like, hi, Adam, it's Audrey. And I'm like, hi. And she's like, we need you to come over. Eric wants to meet all you guys over at his studio over in Chinatown.
Eric Roberts?
Yeah, he needs to come see you guys to come see him. Eric and Eliza, his wife Eliza, who was on Animal House, another beautiful, wonderful person. I got to share some screen time with her on another movie he did. And I just passed the phone to, I think it was Daryl. I think I passed it to you, Daryl. Anyway, and he's like, yeah, it's Daryl. And he's like, yeah, so we'll be there. And he hangs up. I'm like, I can't go. I'm like sweating. I'm like, I know. I feel like
too high and too drunk. Or?
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I was in an interrogation room. I was like, okay, I was just sweating, and I'm like, no, please. And they get me in this car and they throw me in the back seat, way in the back by like the subwoofers because they're listening to really loud music, and they keep all turning back and like looking and smiling at me like in unison. Even the driver like just doing this shit.
That's the same shit we'd be doing.
And I'm just like sweating balls and just going back in my seat like, please, it's going way too fast. And it took us like 30 minutes to get there, so we were only driving like 20 miles an hour. And we get up there, and the guy from Kindergarten Cop's up there, and he's telling me jokes. The bad guy with the squirrel that attacked him, that guy, or what the fuck that was, and he's telling me jokes, and he's got this crazy goatee, and I said, hey man, I said, I don't want to be rude, but I'm really high right now, and it's not funny. He goes, I fucking know, brother. So I go downstairs, and Eric's like hugging me goodbye, and Eliza starts hugging me goodbye, and there's like a big weird group hug because I can't let him go. And he's like, I liked your shirt. I had a hoodie on I liked it a lot. And I go, you can have it, man. I start taking it off, and his nipples are all exposed, like Morty from Rick and Morty. And he's like, no, I can buy my own clothes. And I was like, oh, of course you can, man. I love you guys. And someone has to help me down the stairs, and I get to the bottom, and there's like 30 people in Phillip, and they're all looking at me, and they all start smiling and laughing. And I'm like, I don't know. I still don't know to this day if that was planned or what the fuck was happening there, but it was the most surreal experience. But that was fun. And Phillip was a great guy, great
Sounds
producer.
like you were tripping on an edible or something.
Yeah.
Huh?
It was just a syrup. It was that syrup. And I guess it was like 1,500 milligrams or some bullshit like that in that bottle. And he just went, here you go, buddy. I was high the next day for work, too.
Well, luckily, Eric Roberts chiefs like a motherfucker, so he probably didn't care.
I think he's totally sober now.
Really?
I think he is.
Oh, wow.
No alcohol, no nothing.
Oh, wow.
He's a cool cat, by the way. Eric, if you have a chance to work with Eric, he is the most gracious, wonderful person in the world. He even told me that my chin was showing and with the camera up because I got that nice old man double chin going on. He's like, and unbutton your button a little bit. And he's like fixing my tie. And he on his productions, if he hires an actor, he doesn't care how famous they are. They have to be nice.
That's
and they're
cool.
Wonderful, wonderful people to work with.
That's cool.
If you guys ever have the chance to work with him again, he pays well. He's a very nice guy, and he makes good quality stuff.
I love hearing Joey Diaz talk about Eric Roberts.
I never heard. I don't know.
Yeah, he talks stories about Eric Roberts just because he loves Eric Roberts and some of the early movies that Eric Roberts did. I forget what they were, like the really
like the ones back in the day.
Yeah, like the original, like Scorsese. I think he did an early Scorsese movie.
Oh, hold on
with
here.
Harvey Keitel. Right?
Yeah, what was that?
Where
movie?
they were brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was that movie?
Jamie.
Yeah, Eric Roberts, and it's a really early movie.
That's okay. 400 movies under his belt.
Yeah, dude, that guy's crazy. He's a pro.
He's works. I mean, I love the guy. I think he was a wonderful person. He'll never remember me. He's met a million people in his life. He might remember the hug. It was a weird hug. I'm sorry. I don't even hug people. I don't touch. I don't know what. You can't
forget those nipples.
Yeah. Well, he almost saw them. I think they're hipples. They got a lot of hair. But it was a wonderful experience. And yeah, Eric is great.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any projects you're working on right now?
Besides trying to be a grandfather, yeah, I got 2 actually. So I just did the behind the scenes that came out for Pocket Man and Cargo Boy last year, and I hosted that. It's called First Look, and so I just finished editing that on Premiere, which I suck at editing, but it's a short curve. I got it, and we just finished editing that, and that'll be out on September 9th. We finished Pocket Man and Cargo Boy 2: The Rise of Sir Longbottom, which that'll knock your balls off. It's amazing. The martial arts in it alone are it's all fighting and special effects the whole way through. If you love that kind of thing, it's so hot.
And the first one's available now, right? On
it's available on let's see, it's
Amazon,
not Amazon. It's not on Vudu. It's on Amazon, Tubi TV. It's on Fandango now, and then you can buy it on DVD at like Best Buy, Target, Barnes and Noble, Walmart. Lots of stuff.
That's badass. You can buy a movie made here at fucking Walmart.
Yeah. Well, you got Robert Conway's movies. You can buy almost all of his movies at Walmart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's great too. He's a great guy too.
Yeah, he did
Little Mr. Conway.
Is that Krampus, right?
Yeah.
And,
Little Robbie Conway.
Because Joseph Umba,
he did that.
Did the cam, right?
I was on that.
Directed
movie.
that.
Yeah, I was on that with him.
Yeah, and did Robert write it or?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and Cork said we liked the first one and it was such a great cash grab. Let's do it again. So they did it again, and we got to be miners in the Old Southwest.
There you go.
And I got to be a miner, which never happens. And actually, Joe shot that, and then Nick was on that doing sound. And his mother, may she rest in peace, wonderful person, Tammy, she got me the role as Big Ben. It was supposed to be this big guy, big British guy, and it turned out to be a tiny brown dude. So it was really kind of cool. She got me that role. And I got to work with Sean Dillingham and Greg Lutz, and then, of course, William Bill O'Connor, little Mr. Billy Connor.
My homie Josh had a little second scene in there.
I remember that now. I do. Josh is fantastic.
Yeah.
I like Josh. I hope you're doing well. I heard you're getting ear surgery to restore your hearing, and I think it's really important for musical artists such as yourself. And you're a great person, and I love your family. I hope your daughters are doing well.
Yeah.
And
big shout out to Josh.
Yeah, shout out to Josh for sure. Yeah, let's talk about the music.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to think of.
Such a scene here. I know that you're a musician, and a very talented one, and not only because I've seen some things, but because everybody says it.
Really?
So everybody says what a talented person you are. Later on, are we going to get the close up of me jerking you off? Or
that'd be cool.
Okay, if we can do that later on.
That would be the thumbnal.
You need a long lens for him, though.
We'll get some B-roll.
Yeah, some B-roll. Back it up a bit. You need to see the whole thing. It can be like shaking a bushel of bananas. Well, anyway, but we have, so there's Josh, of course, is a fantastic lyricist.
Yes, I got into a YouTube whole video, checking out his stuff the other night because somebody posted, it might have been Josh, posted a song he did with
Nova.
Nova, and that song was amazing. And I've heard some of Josh's stuff before. I couldn't believe how good that song is, and that's exactly what I thought. I was like, man, his lyrics are amazing. Like he's done.
Well, not just that. He shoots all the videos himself too, and does all the editing. So
he's a
modern day Renaissance
show.
Man. He's a good dude.
Really talented guy. He's really down to earth.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah.
And he's super sarcastic, which is a really important thing to be. I think is sarcastic. I like that.
That's why when we hang out together, we're just constantly laughing. I almost don't like when we're on the set together because we're just like little kids. We're like, because we're just being so fucking goofy, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got a few people like me and Sean D are like that. It's a love-hate relationship. He's always joking, and I'm like, you're just fucking.
Yeah.
So,
is there any other musicians or bands that around here that
so many?
Yeah.
So there is. I mentioned Terrell Matheny, which is he does a lot of great stuff. You have to check him out. He is an amazing lyricist. But other than that, he's got the voice of an angel. His voice is like if you mixed Fergie and Jesus. He's been told that by many people that have heard.
And he's from here?
Movie quote. He is from Tucson. He's doing a lot of things. He's getting into acting now.
Because we have a lot of actors on, but being a musician myself, like some of my favorite guests are even musicians, and I want to promote and
he's amazing.
Musicians and bands out here in the valley and all over Arizona.
Tours everywhere, Colorado, all over the place. He's doing tours all the time, and he's really talented. Then there's my favorite. I have no favorites, but if I had a favorite, Gabriel Barcenia. He did the theme song for your movie, Bittersweet, which was the movie Expo.
Oh,
he did that theme song for it, and that was done a couple years ago. And I actually was in his video beating him up. So if you look up "Bittersweet" you'll see me looking like an Italian mobster beating the shit out of him. Like he really got clocked. He didn't get clocked, but he got hit. He's a tough kid, but he is. Wow, he's got a voice on him, man. Yeah. And he does a lot of his own production, and then Joe shoots all of his videos. So
that's cool.
They're good videos. They really are. They're fun to watch, and he's really popular anyway, so he knows he's good. Real down to earth, but he knows he's good. You got those guys, and God, there's so many artists. I mean, honestly.
Well, if you ever think of any that just shoot me a message, and
you can get Gabriel on here.
Yeah,
with
dude.
Joe or Nick. I think having a little 3-way with those guys would be.
Okay, I'm down with 3 ways.
Little group, It'd be they're super talented people. All of them are, but yeah, they're really talented people, and
Another really nice thing that you did is a couple years back is when me and Josh did the 24-hour cancer benefit for Rest in Peace Katrina.
Oh my God, Katrina!
You donated those, and I want to talk to you about your painting.
Oh yeah.
He donated, I think it was like 2 or 3 paintings that we auctioned off, and that people donated money to Katrina and stuff. So do you still paint and stuff, or?
I don't have a lot of time. If I can, I will. I had a really nice lady, just buy a bunch of paintings. I had this one of this prairie dog eating cake on a red velvet cake on a red velvet couch, and she bought that a long time ago for thank you. It was very generous what she purchased it for, and she loved it so much. She saw a bunch of other ones that I do animals like that frog. I just do animal paintings, and they're always doing weird things like Javelina's wearing party hats or just something stupid, and I usually have to be really high because I have to stand up for 8 hours and complete a painting. And so I got Stevie Wonder playing in the background. I have no shirt on, covered in sweat, just painting my ass off, and it's really weird paintings. But they're all animals doing really bizarre shit.
I think I saw the frog one. I think that was when you donated.
Yeah, I got one like that too. That looks like that. Got him in the same position.
Alvarius.
Yeah, and it looks kind of like that. I should have brought him for you guys. But yeah, so I have people that buy a lot from the Xanadu Gallery and things like that, and then I do Redbubble, and people buy a lot of shirts and things like that. So I try to keep it up as much as possible, and if I can't, then I'll do some digital artwork. But you have to do one thing or another, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be a master. You can be a master of one thing or a jack of all trades, but you can't be a master. You can't be a jack of all trades and then a master of anything else. You'll be a master of none. So I'm trying to focus my attention on one thing, so I do paint, but it's not great right now.
Yeah, it's nice to have that break though away from that main thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially, I wish I could paint.
If it's funny, if it's really funny, and then I'll do it. Because it has to be really funny.
You mean the painting?
Yeah, like my mother-in-law was coming over one night, so I had an hour, and I couldn't do it in an hour. I'm like, oh God, I finished. And I painted this clown with these fangs and his crazy hair, and he's fading into the background of this black background, and it looks like a person. And because I was so intent, I got wicked high, and I finished it before she got there, and I let it dry. I did it with acrylic, so it would dry really fast, and I stuck it by the bed that she was going to sleep in. So when she woke up, everybody has to see that damn painting. So It's terrifying. It's probably the best thing I've done to date. Probably ever in my life. It's really good.
I'd love to see that. Yeah, shoot us if you can, shoot us a pic of it.
Yeah, it's horrifying. But it was so funny because I really wanted to F with her.
It's nice to be able to also come back to those things after a little bit of a break and just pick it up again and stuff like that. I do that all the time where I'll not do something in a while, a year or two, and then I'll that sounds like fun, and then I'll be totally immersed in it for 3
World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Even World of Warcraft. Fuck, man, that shit destroyed me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you WoW out?
No, I don't WoW out anymore, but I like I like I like Blizzard games, so I still do a lot.
Diablo?
No. Right now I'm doing
Overwatch.
Pew pew pew. Yeah, Overwatch.
Yeah.
I've been playing that for like 2 years. I keep coming back to it.
That's such a great game. They did such a great job.
I've met a lot of people
Yes.
on the PS4.
That's why WoW for me was so badass, because of the community aspect. You meet a lot of cool people.
PewDiePie would call me a cash gamer, right?
Yeah.
Because I PS4 it, because my computer's used for editing. That
Amen.
bullshit video gaming. Anyway, so I use my PS4, but I met so many people, and one guy, there's a couple different guys. One guy was like, "Hey man, you sound really familiar to me," and I'm like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "Well, where do I sound familiar?" He goes, "I don't know. I know you from somewhere." I'm like, "Where are you based?" And he's like, "Seattle." I'm like, "Yeah, I've never been to Seattle in my life." And he's like, "What's your name, bro?" And I'm like, "Adam." And I told my last name, and he Googles my ass like really quick. And he's like, "You're in this bullshit horrible movie I saw. Oh my god, I turned it off. You're in the beginning." I'm not gonna say which one it was. It came from here though. And I'm like, "Oh god damn, man, yeah." So then people started friending me, and then I got a bunch of weirdos, and I wanted to change my profile name, but I couldn't. It was kind of rough. And then I met a really nice actor. His name was Malik Fortner. Malik Fortner. And he is in the Midwest, and he's like sent me a bunch of like reels and things, and I got to look at what he did. Oh my god, that dude's talented. He wants to move to like Georgia, and I'm like, I got to talk to him. So, and now we're Facebook friends.
You gotta love the internet and
online
anything.
gaming,
Yeah.
I was immersed in that gaming world for a while and met a lot of crazy people.
I like to waste my time sometimes.
I've had like really, really, really good. Well, you have too on WoW. Good friends in other states that you've never saw or looked at in your entire life.
My hand's pointing at Chad right now, but Don Rizza. I mean, that's a perfect example that we met Don Rizza basically through online gaming.
Yeah. A lot of people.
I met a guy in Bisbee through online gaming, and we started talking, and we were doing a show. I'm doing a show with Dragonfly Pictures, which is Barry Cohen. He's pretty much the powerhouse of if you need equipment or any real big production here. Barry's the guy behind the scenes.
I've worked with Barry. Barry's badass.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and we're doing a television show that's not out yet. It's still in the editing process, called Haunts. The first season we're doing is Haunts of Arizona, and I'm the host, and we get to go around. I get to drink and act like an asshole, and then we have a ghost hunting team that kind of goes and sits in this haunted hotel, and it's not a ghost hunting TV show by any means, but they're just like, hey, we went to this hotel and it was bullshit.
That's cool. It's comedy.
That's awesome, dude.
Or it wasn't bullshit. It might not be bullshit.
Yeah.
The rule of thumb, though, is if you live in a house and you think you have a haunted room in your house, it's not. It's not haunted. It's not haunted. Don't worry about it.
That's exactly what I think.
It's not. You're searching for shit that's not there. But it could be.
Fucking men.
It could be. People do believe in it, and what you believe in is important. And I'm not bashing anybody's beliefs.
I think a lot of it's manifested just like because
you can make yourself believe some crazy stuff.
And maybe there is. Who knows? But I like to drink and party, and I like to make fun of people, which is a really big part of my day, as long as they're laughing as well. So that's what I do. I go out and enjoy the nightlife, and I talk to people and insane people in Arizona and how crazy they are.
Yeah.
And we have a great time. And then I go back and I pass out, and we do it all. So it's kind of like a Rick Steves Europe.
That's cool. Yeah.
Meets
haunting.
Some haunting, and then Impractical Jokers.
And you already shot everything?
We shot the first pilot, and then we have to do another 6. I spoke to a nice lady who does curation for Netflix, and she was really interested. But she's like, that's a lot of shit. That's 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, essentially, and maybe you might just want to do one thing. So we're gonna hash it out and see what we can do, and then go to the next one.
I think it's a great idea.
It's fun. We're gonna see what we can do with it.
That's the important part. As long as you're having fun doing it, you're gonna want to put a lot more effort into it.
It's a fun time, regardless. Great equipment, obviously. Barry has all the fun toys, so we have a good time, and he's a great cinematographer.
Well, you have to go out to that Haunting in Scottsdale event that Josh is doing.
I see it, and I'm trying not to work.
Yeah.
But I can't. Here's the thing: is that I get a lot of invites to things that people don't personally invite me to. It's a Facebook invite, so it's not really. Then no one cares if I'm there. Let me just make that clear. But I'm not fucking special. But they do these Facebook
invite
invites.
Me personally, asshole.
They didn't invite me. Josh, you didn't invite me. Let's be honest. But I try to say I'm interested in everything, and then if I can go, then I'll just show up on the day because I don't know if I can go or not. And then generally if I'm there, I'm in the background like this looking around for like an hour and then I leave because nobody gives a shit if I'm there. But
that's nice. That's nice to be able to do that.
Plus when you're interested, doesn't it keep it in your reminders to let you know?
Yeah,
so
and at least I can see, and if you're interested, you'll see pictures from it and things like that. So if I can't be there, at least I can enjoy those things. Yeah. But I don't have a regular day job, so I do have to work.
Well, it's right out by you, so
I got to eat once in a while, you know. As we talked about, that's where the peasants go, though, and it's kind of hard to get around to it.
Yeah,
it is still like 7 miles away, but but it's not too bad.
Very cool.
But it's interesting.
How much time we at?
We are at 1 hour.
Nice.
Oh wow, we nailed it.
Yeah.
Oh no, we still got like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, so what kind of actors and things that are you into that you like? Is there any actors that you look up to that inspire you and influence you, or that you like? I don't know, maybe follow on Instagram or just maybe from back in the day or as a child.
Yeah, actually, there's two, and you might not know them. Rick Ravenel is a really great guy. He lives in Palm Springs. He was on like The Cave. He's doing he's doing a movie in Qatar right now with or a television show in Qatar with Eric Roberts, and he's doing another one called The Pact, and it's in Romania, I believe. And he's a really great guy. He actually contacted me personally. I posted something. He's like, "Hey, brother, I'll be in anything you're in." I can't do his voice. It's a very masculine Southern accent.
So you don't really do voices.
No, I don't do voices. I do Hispanic voices. But he's like, "Hey, brother, I'll be anything you need." No, he's "Hey, brother, I'll be anything you're in." And I was like, "Yeah." So I can do it a million times. And we talked a lot. And he's like, so he wants to come down and do some stuff with us. And I've watched all of his things, and he's such a talented human being, and he has a truth in his acting that is just amazing. And he's a real person. He donates a lot of his time, a lot of his money to charities, a lot of policeman stuff, and he speaks his mind. He's I think he doesn't really talk about politics too much, but I think he's a fire and brimstone Republican, which is totally different than my own personal ideology. So don't hate me for that. But I love him, and I love the fact that he's so open about his ideologies and what he believes in, and he gives fully to those ideologies, and he's very inclusive with every person, every race, he doesn't exclude anybody. And I think that makes him a wonderful actor, a wonderful person. You got them, and of course Eric. We talked about Eric, and then there's a lot of really talented actors, and I look up to most of the people I look up to are the little guys, especially in this valley, that are still trying so hard to act and get themselves out there. And you see some amazing talented. Tom McCoy is not only a fantastic director, and he's doing a lot of things. He is an amazing actor.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
We did something for SCC a number of years ago now for Morgan Bowles. It was his capstone project called La Esencia, and I got to play this crazy cannibal chef. And he was this star in that, and he shined so much that you can't even tell that I was in it or anybody else was in it. Amazing talent. So I look up to people like that because, well, they actually deserve to be looked up to, right?
Yeah, I saw his short film at the AZ Showcase a couple months back. It was fucking amazing.
Amazing. We have so much talent here, and it's just my goal to try to showcase as much of it as we can.
Yeah,
it's one of our goals.
I gotta piss
too.
really quick. I apologize.
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's definitely one of our goals too.
I got a bladder like a thimble, so I understand completely. Every 5 seconds.
Or a prostate like a grapefruit.
One of those. Oh, sexy big prostate, big jiggly prostate.
No, we don't want to get into another talk about colonoscopies and prostate exams.
Well, my doctor hates me because I have the prostate exam, and I asked for the old classic one, not the blood test, and I made sure his fingers were fat before I.
What's the what? Hold on, blood test.
Oh yeah, they test your blood to see they can test your levels before they do their thingy, but I told him, go ahead and use 2. I kind of looked back at him, smiled. No,
give him a quick
I didn't
wink.
do that, but I could have. I mean, I'm not against it. I didn't do it, so just prostating me like that, the whole thing.
So you were talking. You were cracking me up telling about the story about going out to the Hemp Museum. Daryl Washington, right?
Oh yeah, he played for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Is he acting? Is that what he's doing now?
Yeah, he's doing a lot of acting, and he's a real modest guy.
Yeah.
We were at. So I shared a room with this guy. Okay, so when we were at one of these fancy hotels that I couldn't afford, but I shared a room with him, and it was one of those suites, and I come in his room, and there's just piles of money sitting on the bed, and they're crumpled up like a child did it, and that's how he carries his money. And he was walking. We're on Santa Monica Boulevard. We're actually we're at the beach, Santa Monica, Venice Beach, whatever. And he's walking, and some lady runs by him. "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I think you dropped this." And he's like, well, we'll open it up, see what it is. And I forget, it was a large denomination bill. And she's like, here. And he goes, obviously, I didn't want it because I dropped it, and you should have it. And she's like, thank you. And she walked away, and I'm like, dude, that was so cool. And he's like, well, I should have taken better care of it. And I was like, he's always been like that. Every time I've met him, he's always down to earth. He always wants to talk to people. He'll ask me, like, he asked me something about acting, like, what would you do in this situation? I'm like, what the fuck are you asking me anything? Go ask somebody who's, of a higher level of performer, But
that's cool.
But
man.
he's that kind of person. So Daryl was really cool. But that crumples up all his money in tiny little balls, leaves it on the bed, just knocks it off, goes to sleep. But he's never too good for anything.
Yeah.
He'll
That's
spend
cool.
time with you, talk to you. So he's cool.
Very cool. Yeah, it's amazing that the people you meet in these circles, that when you enjoy something and you're around other people, but there's a lot of different avenues now with being connected through the internet and all that stuff, that you can just, I think getting closer to that community aspect is the important thing now, whether it's local community or a community of people that on Facebook, whatever it is.
Sure.
That's important.
I had a guy talk to me. I get a lot of people talking to me about different stuff, and they'll get me on Facebook from different areas of the world, and I get a lot of. By the way, if I ever get to you like on Facebook Messenger, because I don't look at all of them. Sometimes you'll have like 50 friend requests from people you don't know, and I'm still a private person. But if you message me, I'll answer eventually. And he was like, I was acting in LA for a long time, and it was really rough, and I felt like everybody was very fake, and I had girls that were dating me, but because they wanted to get ahead, and my friends weren't really my friends, and I just left. And how do you manage it? And what I say to people when they ask that question, which is a common question to ask, is that honestly, all you can do is be open and be an exposed nerve and be as open as possible and be yourself, and people will gravitate toward you, and you'll find nice people, because the majority of people in this industry, especially ones who are doing much better than you, right, who have made careers out of this, not only are they just like you, but they're very nice and they're very open and they want to spend time with you. But if you're a fake asshole, if you're being mean to them, or if you're like trying to pretend like you're something you're not, they're going to shut you out because they don't want psychos in their life. So just be yourself.
Yes.
And you'll find that these people, like these great stories, are all, not only are they 100% true and fun, but I got them because the people around me liked me enough and were gracious enough to allow me into their lives.
Yeah.
And
what the fuck is that?
That's probably the GoPro battery dying.
it's like, that's our
Yes,
time.
sir.
Try the
Timing.
veal.
Perfect
That's all
timing.
right, tripping.
I'll be here all week.
We got one. We can get about a show per battery. So
I got
not
another
bad.
quick question before we wrap. What was that? You did a cool national commercial where you with the mailbox and the water coming out. What was that?
Let's see.
You know what I'm talking about?
That was Crown Chimp
Crown Champ.
on Productions in Tucson. That was an Arizona flood safety commercial.
How did they shoot? How did you shoot that? Is what I'm wondering.
These guys are hilarious, and they always try to do things that make things as awkward as possible. They're really nice professionals, but so they built this contraption that they knew how much water. These are smart kids.
Well, just really quick. So the commercial is, I forgot exactly what the commercial is, but you're pretty much in your robe. You get the newspaper.
Yeah, I yawn and I walk out of the newspaper and I open up the newspaper box or the mailbox, and this torrent of water flushes out.
This is a national commercial.
Wow.
And there's a huge contraption that they've had to put, behind the camera, but in front of behind the box, where it's actually filled. And when I open that box, someone pulls a cord. I believe it was a cord, and then this torrent of water comes out. But they needed to know the water per volume and how fast it had to move, and they had all these lines on it and how much they had to fill it up, and they were like on it like a bonnet. Like it was crazy how like they were like, and they did it so many times.
I was gonna say, how many takes did you do?
I think it was like 4 takes, and I was just soaked the entire time.
And then you have to wait to dry off. And
no, so Sonia Campbell was their MUA at the time. I think she does a lot more writing and production now, and so she was always on the spot with another towel, another robe, and then makeup again, and then I had to get all into it. And she was like that with it the entire time.
sick.
How long would that take?
Oh, she was fast, but it was still a lot of stuff you do here in Arizona. It's hot as F.
Yeah.
So they got me out to get it at 6 a.m. I'm like dying, and they're trying to get it all. And the water for some reason was freezing cold. So I don't know how they managed that. But it was she was on it like a bonnet. She was real cool with it and then fast. And they reset. By the time I had my makeup, it was all reset and ready to go again. So they were good with it. They were good. So
yeah, that seemed like a really fun commercial. I was always curious, like how they did that.
They are fun. They're fun people. If you have a chance to work with them, do it. They do stuff all the time. They're just getting better and better.
What production company is that?
That's Crown Chimp. They win
Crown
awards
Chimp,
every year. That they've won Addies for like all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
they're really creative. You got Nicholas Duarte on that too. Drew Grubb. He's a comedian, but he's really funny. Everybody's on that. I know I'm missing people.
I'd love to have a comedian on here. I love stand-up. If you know any local stand-ups or anything.
Why don't you ask Sean Dillingham? He owns the Scottsdale Comedy Spot. And
shit.
He's a funny fuck, man. I can't work with him because he's too funny. And he kills me every time. He's ruined so many sets that I've been on.
He's your Josh.
Yeah, he's just staring at me. And I'm like, cut, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he was so professional before Sean got here.
Yeah.
And I always see him. He's always taking roles for me for different things. Like, we'll both show up at the same thing because he is a middle-aged white guy and he's about the same weight, and I come in with the same height. And they're like, that's who we want. We hate you. Get out of here. You can stay. So then I have to leave LA and go back home empty-handed. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Asshole.
I actually I haven't met Sean, but I obviously know of him, and everyone I know knows Sean. I hear all kinds of great things about him.
Do you really?
Yeah, not just from you, but what's funny is one of the sets I was on with Josh, we were just being all goofy and immature, was a Harley Davidson commercial that he was a star on, and
he took that part from me too.
Oh, really? Yeah, I got to see him. It's just cool when you get to see someone just do their craft. And at that time, I was really just starting off and just kind of really only doing extra stuff, so I was really just absorbing a lot. It was really cool to see him do that shit.
Yeah, he's great. My fault is that they always send me up for these dad funny things, and I just don't translate well into camera as a funny guy, and but he does. Yeah, he's got a great comedic presence, and you have to have both. You can't just be funny. You got to be funny.
Yeah, you got to show it through your whole body.
And I'm just a asshole robot with no emotions, so sometimes it comes across kind of weird, like I'm trying to kill someone.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's the creepy stepfather feel. If they ever make a new stepfather, the one with Terry O'Quinn or whatever, maybe they can make one. And I can be the stepdad because I think I do a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Just open the door and look in. You're very precious to me. Shut the door.
Yeah. Right on. Well, shit, man. Fucking thanks for driving all the way down here, man.
Hey, it was my pleasure.
Bullshitting, and I really appreciate it a lot. You can come on anytime you want, dude. This is a great conversation. I had a good time today.
Yeah. Fucking A, man. I had a good time. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to go to Banged. Don't forget to go to Banged and get your hair did.
I forgot.
But don't try to bang her.
I wanted to say thank you for this.
Oh, my pleasure.
He got us this.
Oh, fucking A.
You don't even drink, and I was going to try to get something appropriate for you, but I didn't know. And
no, brother, that's awesome.
So that's trans. It's not the best champagne in the world. It's sparkling white, but it's we had it for my daughter, my granddaughter, Aria Rose's baby shower. And that's not from the baby shower. I went out and bought a bottle today. But I don't drink very much, and I had a really hard day setting it up, and I'm like, okay, and I took a swig, and I was like, that is an amazing sparkling white, and I'm like, and now that's, if I'm gonna get fancy and have a bubble bath, that's what I'm gonna drink right there.
Yeah, I might bust out for the next guest. We got Benjamin Edwards coming on next. So.
A little Benny Edwards.
A little Ben, yeah.
Make sure you say something nice about me.
We'll see.
We might not have to mention you to do that.
Gonna plug.
Anyway, can you hand me? Do you mind handing me that slate really quick?
Sure.
Oh God, man. Oh God. This is so painful.
When is little Benny Edwards coming?
He'll probably be here about 4:30. You can hang out if you want to.
Little Ben.
Shit, so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He did a great job. He's a sexy little man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't wait to find out about his glute workout.
Oh yeah. He's got some tight glutes.
This is episode 39 of the Bogcast. Thanks again, Adam.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Chad, for filling in on Don Rizze. Don, hope you're enjoying your camping trip. Sorry, I couldn't find any mushrooms for you. But thanks, Little Mac and Ryan McClay, of course. That's a wrap on Bogcast, episode 39.
Peace out.
Dope. That was a fucking awesome show.
Oh my God! I gave you a little weird man handshake there. Oh God.
Bang!